Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Magik of Pride. Today's episode is going to be on MLM or Gay Visibility, as it is the 1st of June. To preface, anything in this script is not of my own opinion. If in my video I say or said anything of my own opinion, I am not reading it from the script. It is a thought in the moment that I am having. If anything is incorrect about this or any future orientation video, inform me in the comments, and I will do what I can to pin your comment or edit the description to include the correction or any further important information. Without further ado, let's get started. Pride flags on MLM. Prideflags.info on MLM, or the gay man's flag, states under origin, the creator Triton used the original proposed design by Hermie as inspiration and refined the gay man flag colors and added meaning to the different stripes. The meaning is inspired by Triton's own research and queer history, his and others' own experiences as gay men, and the original rainbow flag. There is also a link provided to the original rainbow flag, which he loves dearly and holds close to his heart. This flag is not meant to replace or erase it in any way. He would love for them to be used in tandem. Additionally, under the identity description, Vincian is a term used to describe homosexual men who love other men. It can describe all kinds of gay men, including, but not exclusive to, aro ace, questioning, NB, and gender nonconforming men. I'm sorry, I'm getting back from being sick. I probably should have waited to do this, but it's the first today, so. By the LGBTQIA Resource Center Glossary, MLM is defined as an abbreviation for men who love men, which includes gay men as well as men who are attracted to men and people of other genders. Now, an article is actually being cited today on this video that I found while doing research. 3 links are available for this one article, one under Ask Pride Color Schemes, the original post on Tumblr, and the original post on DeviantArt by Hermie himself. I do want to preface that I did actually ask to talk to Hermie about this, but they did not reach back out to me. So if Hermie finds this video and lets me know that they would prefer if this was cut, I will do a re-recording of this and cut this chunk out of the video and post that version instead. Back to the story, however. In an article entitled "Clearing Up Some Things About the Quote-Unquote Official Gay Man Pride Flag," Maud Hermie of the Pride Flags DeviantArt says, apparently some true scum trans med took this flag and re-uploaded it, wording it in a way that made people think it was made by them and also quote-unquote official. Also, it seems like it's been co-opted by true scum and transphobes who exclude trans and non-binary gay men. To be very clear, I never want any of my flags being used to exclude part of the LGBTQIA+ or MOGAI community. I am fully supportive of all ASPEC identities and MOGAI genders, including xenogenders, kingenders, neurogenders, and neuroorientations. Pronoun nonconforming gays and lesbians, or anyone really. GNC trans people, people who use the SAM, low non-dysphoric trans people, and anyone else who may be excluded. Basically, any identity that's not centered around harming people or animals is amazing and valid. I completely agree with this statement at the end here, made by Hermie, and I will be leaving the link to this article in the description so that you can read it for yourself, because there are chunks that I did choose to cut out because they were not directly important to the information about the gay flag. But it is a wonderful article. Go check it out for yourself. The colors of the flag and their meanings is next. We have the first layer meaning community, the second meaning healing, the third meaning joy. The fourth representing gender nonconforming and trans men. The fifth representing true love. The sixth pure love, the sixth representing fortitude, and the seventh representing diversity. Now the first color is free speech aquamarine, or green, with a hex code of #078D70. Again, representing community. Also represents nature, as love between men is often still seen as unnatural to society and many religions. Green flowers and plants like the carnation were historically used by gay men to symbolize their love and connection to nature. I'm so sorry. I didn't have time to hit the mute button. Our next color is shamrock light green with the hex code #26CEAA, representing healing. Next is teal or green with a hex code of #98E8C1, representing joy. This also represents nature and ties back to gay men being seen as unnatural and talking about the flowers and plants like the carnation being used by gay men. Next we have ghost white with a hex code of F1EFF. Sorry, I'm dyslexic and the letters are screwing with me. Representing gender nonconforming, gender nonconforming and trans men. This stripe was inspired by the trans pride flag, as many trans, non-binary, and gender nonconforming men are often excluded and deserve more representation in the gay community. Next, Geordie Blue is a light blue with a hex code of #78ADE2, representing pure love. The transition from light blue to purple, which is a mix of red and blue, is used to show how some MLM might not be stereotypical, while others might not be. Some MLM might be stereotypical while others might not be. Some are also in between or fluid in their identity, but all deserve the same respect and love. I added that part, but you guys deserve love too. More than just respect. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Next we have free speech blue, or a purple shade. Sort of a periwinkle almost. With a hex code of #5049CC, representing fortitude. Purple representing the true diversity of men being in love. with other men in presentation, relationships, and life experience, and goes against the stereotyping and fetishizing often put upon gay men. Our next color is Persian Indigo, another purple color with a hex code of #3D1A78, representing diversity and bringing back the destruction of stereotyping and fetishizing forced upon gay men. Now, I also have some quote-unquote famous gay men in history. Some of them I have no idea who these people are. Some of them I know well, like Mr. Oscar Wilde here. And this was taken from a website called The History List. And they were paraphrased or rephrased from that website that you can actually look at if you're looking at the script, which will also be in the description below. Now, Mr. Oscar Wilde and Lord Alfred Boise Douglas began dating in June of 1891. Both authors had their own kind of literacy. Wilde's inspiration for the picture of Dorian Gray was actually his lover Boise. For dating Boise, Wilde was sentenced to 2 years in prison for gross indecency by Lord Douglas's father. Under threat of losing funds from their families, the two ended up separating. Michelangelo and Tommaso de Cavalieri, don't quote me on the pronunciation of that. I know I'm Italian and I should know how to pronounce that, but I don't. In 1523, life spelled the love story of a lifetime for nobleman Tommaso. Most of his poetry was dedicated to his star-crossed love, Michelangelo, based on letters found between the two. Feelings appeared to be mutually shared in 1548. However, Tommaso was married to Miss Lavina della Valle. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. He stayed close to Michelangelo until his death, though. Additionally, it was speculated that Michelangelo's painting of Jesus Christ is actually of his gay lover, Tommaso de Cavalieri. Walt Whitman and Peter Doyle. The expressed sexuality of Walt Whitman remains a matter of heavy debate. However, most biographers agree that he was a homosexual, or at the very least a bisexual man. Several men were said to have very close friendships with Walt, some of which speculated to have been more than friendly friendships. One of such relationships was between him and Mr. Peter Doyle, whom he met in 1865. According to the accounts from Mr. Doyle himself, they went to a hotel, and this became a commonplace practice for the two. Tennessee Williams, in 1911, I'm sorry, I was reading the year, and Mr. Frank Marlowe met in New Orleans in 1947. A year later, Williams had fallen deeply in love with Marlowe, and the feeling was mutual. I'm sorry, my computer is showing me a weird screen and I wasn't sure if I was showing the correct people. Okay. The feeling was mutual, and they soon began a relationship that lasted 14 years until Marlowe's death. Williams fell into a deep depression after the passing of his lover and never truly recovered. W. Somerset Muggham and Mr. Gerald Haxton met shortly after the outbreak of World War I in 1914. The pair were serving for the Red Cross ambulance unit in France, and soon became lovers. However, in 1915, Haxton was caught cheating on Mugham in London, and Mugham was then married to Miss Siri Welcome in 1917. Oh my god. Despite all of this, they continued their relationship, spending most of their time together traveling Europe. W.H. Auden and Chester Kalman met reading at the Keynote Club in Manhattan in 1939. Shortly thereafter, the celebrated poet was wearing a wedding ring and bought one for Mr. Callum as well. After 2 years, Auden found Kalman being unfaithful. Auden confronted Kalman, demanding in vain that he be faithful. I'm so sorry. Coming to terms with the fact that he could not change the man that he loved, Auden eventually accepted Kalman's infidelity. They kept going on in their relationship until Kalman found his husband dead in their bed in a hotel in Vienna in 1973. Finally, we have Vladimir Davidov. I don't know how to pronounce that. Vladimir wasn't only the lover of Mr. Potter, Ilyich. I think they're Russian. Tchaikovsky. I'm sorry if you're Russian and I just offended the bejesus out of you trying to pronounce any of that. I genuinely apologize. I have no idea. But he was also his nephew. Yep. Bob, as the famous composer liked to call him, was the second son of his sister Alexandra. He was his whole nephew. I'm sorry, that's me talking, not the script. It's uncomfortable. I read this already, but it's so uncomfortable. Though Tchaikovsky, I don't know. Unlike his brother Modest, who was openly gay. I'm sorry. I instigated a coughing fit. Wow. I don't have COVID, by the way. I tested negative for COVID. I don't know what it is, other than allergies. Was openly gay, was hiding his sexual orientation. Love letters to Bob leave no doubt about his homosexuality, nor about the true nature of his relationship with his nephew. I think I have the names wrong on who's who here. I think Vladimir is the tall one, and the shorter one is, never mind. Anyway, days before his death in 1893, God, that's so uncomfortable. Sorry. Tchaikovsky conducted the premiere of his last work, the Sixth Symphony, or the Symphonie Pathétique. He really named his symphony the Pathetic Symphony. Timpani? What? which he dedicated to Bob. I'm sorry. Sir, not only did you nickname your nephew Bob when his name was Vladimir, but you dedicated the quote-unquote pathetic symphony to him. Okay. Anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of this episode of the Magik of Pride. And I really do appreciate you guys watching this all the way through and joining me in the quite possibly the strangest journey at the end here through history with our queer forefathers, I guess. And bearing with me through this uncomfortable sickness. I'm so sorry. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. Comment your favorite fun fact about MLM or gay men that you heard in this video, or just a fun fact that you have about gay men. I will also be holding or putting my email in the description for experience accounts on being anything within the LGBTQ range. And that will be a series all on its own. So, until we meet again in our next Magik of Pride video, have a magical evening and good night.